What's this place now?
This is the recreation part of the house. Recreation is built into our lives as Carmelites, so it is compulsory recreation. You cannot escape from it. So we pray and we play. So here is where we gather after meals, after dinner especially, and we sit around the table to chat. We do various hobbies. So some of the brothers will make rosaries, some will do leather work, some will do sewing, but generally we sit all around here, have conversation. It's the same thing that happens with the nuns also. So they'll sit around and do sewing and various other works.
Oh, who's this?
This is Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, our sister, a holy sister as we call her.
Why is she sleeping?
She is sleeping the sleep of the saints. She has died and fallen asleep in the Lord. And well, hopefully we all die in the same state as her, as good friends of the Lord.
Holy death.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So what do you do as a postulant master?
The role of the postulant master, and therefore my job, is to prepare those who have come into postulancy. Postulancy is the first stage of formation here. If you want to be a Carmelite friar, there are many stages. The first stage is the postulancy, and then the next stage is the novitiate, which is the year of enclosure for us. So my job is to ensure that the people who are coming in are also ready for the stage of enclosure. And then after enclosure, which is novitiate, they will return back to the formation house, where they will then go to the academic phase of their formation, so either philosophy or theology. Yeah, so that's basically my job.
Okay. So I heard, I said I have a friend who is in the third order of the Carmelites. Why is it different from the first and second?
So what we used to call the first order, second order, third order is used to distinguish the different categories within the same religious family. So many religious congregations also have this. So you have your first order, which is the friars, the second order, which is the nuns, and the third order, which is the one for the lay people, is to ensure or to allow the laity to also participate in a religious family. So the nuns and the friars are consecrated publicly. We live our vows within the life of the church, but that also does not mean that lay people have no place in our family. So those who belong to the third order have journeyed through various stages of formation, and they live out their promises of poverty, chastity, and obedience in their own, according to their own state of life in the working world. So how can you be a Carmelite in the workplace? How can you be a Carmelite in the home? How can you be a Carmelite according to your state of life, which is not a friar or a nun?
How do people join the Carmelites?
As third order?
Whatever order.
Oh,
Is it all under you?
No. So if you want to join the Carmelites as a nun, obviously we'll refer you to our sisters, who then do their own methods of discernment to see whether you're called to the nun's way of life, and then of course they have their own formation program. For the Carmelite friars, we also do that. We take people who discern, we journey with them, and we say, okay, are you ready? And are we ready to accept you? And then that's where you begin your life as a friar. Now, for the third order, they also have their own formation team, and of course, it's a lay formation team, and they also do the same thing. So each order does the discernment for their specific order, because it's for their state of life.
So you are the postulant master of the friars?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So then the nuns will go to the Bukit Timah one?
Yes. So, of course, many people know our nuns. They are rather famous. They are in Bukit Teresa, actually. They have their own postulant master, their own novice mistress, and because they handle their own formation in-house. Because the needs of the Carmelite monastery for the nuns is very different from the needs of the friars.
How should a person discern which order they should go? Okay, female only got second. Third also can.
Oh, you mean within the Carmelite family?
Like, how do people start discernment?
I think the start of discernment is, what kind of life do you want to pursue? Because actually, if we follow the principles of St. Thomas Aquinas, he will say that religious life is nothing more than an outflow of the baptismal vows. So in that sense, everybody is called to religious life. But the question is whether you want to take up that invitation. So this is the process of discernment. You feel that you want to live out your baptismal vows more perfectly, more intimately united to the Lord, and whichever religious congregation will then sit down and say, okay, are you able to live this kind of life? So it is a two-way street. And why formation is so long is because we ascertain this. Are you able to live the demands of religious life according to the needs of each congregation, which of course has different needs. So our needs are different from, say, the Daughters of St. Paul, or the Jesuits, or the Franciscans. So we discern according to that need. And if we feel or we discern that, your skill sets belong to a different congregation, we'll say, you're better suited for that. Or if you fit in, we say, yeah, this is the place for you. So for one to start discerning, they should know what they're good at, where their talents lie, and what their strengths and weaknesses are. So yeah.
You got anything to say to encourage people to join? You can talk to the camera.
Religious life is not a scary thing. It is a very normal thing, as normal as getting married. So I will encourage people out there to think very carefully about it, but not too carefully. Think, if you are ready to date, you are ready to join religious life. So yeah, don't overthink the discernment process, because again, it's a long runway. So yeah.
Actually, Father, I didn't know that joining an order is a bit more like skills-based.
Yeah, unfortunately, I used the wrong word. It should not be skills-based, but you need to have a knowledge of who you are, what you are like, what your interests are, what you can do, and what you cannot do, realistically speaking. So, for example, I know I cannot be a cloistered monk. So, I cannot be a Carthusian. I cannot be a Trappist. I cannot be a Cistercian. I could probably enter, but will I survive there? Will I persevere? I don't think so. So, you have to know what you are like, where you will thrive in, what kind of environment you will thrive in, and that narrows down your discernment process. There's like a gazillion religious orders around. You cannot be trying out everyone, right? So realistically, how am I going to narrow down my search?
Okay, weird question. So has there ever been an instance where people change orders?
Yes, I have a friend who changed from the Franciscans to the Dominicans. So sometimes it can come down to very practical purposes. I don't think that you are called to a specific, the Lord does not call you to a specific congregation. Which is the family that I think I can thrive in, and the family of course will also discern, is this a good fit for us? So it's like dating, I don't think the Lord calls you, this is the one. You have to make the one work for you.
So for your friend, right, at which stage did the person change? Is it like during postulancy?
He was already professed, I believe he was temporary vows, and then he changed. So I don't think we should say, he made a mistake in his discernment process, or he's faulty in some way. I don't think so. No, it's just a realization of where you lie as a human person, and what is the best fit for you.
Talking about this best fit, right? What is the charism or for the Carmelites that people should realize? As in, what are all the Carmelites like? What's the common thing about the Carmelites?
The common thing for us is that, like I said, we want to be friends with God, but we must also be willing to be friends with those who want to be friends with God. So the common life or the community life is a crucial aspect of us. We don't expect you to be like, wow, super theologian, super philosopher, but are you able to blend in with us in community life, in our social setting? Because at the end of the day, we are a family. We need to work together in the apostolate. We also need to work together in the chapel. So we must be able to give and take. We all have different interests, different likes, different dislikes, and we need to learn to work all of that out peacefully, as charitably as possible.
I thought that the Carmelites would be specialized in prayer or something.
Yes, we do. So actually, the spiritual life is our field of expertise. But the way we express this, how we carry out this work of the spiritual life differs. So the nuns carry it out in a very contemplative way. They pray for the church, the needs of the church, the needs of those everywhere. We do the same, but we also have this additional element of the apostolate, so pastoral work. Because when St. Teresa formed the friars, actually she formed the nuns first. So we are second. Does it make a second order? Perhaps. So we actually, I believe we are at the service of the nuns. So their fully contemplative element flows over into us. We also carry out a contemplative element, but we also serve the active needs of the church. So we say masses, we teach classes, we do prison ministry, we do school ministry, very varied ministries. But we depend largely on the prayers of the nuns, our contemplative sisters, to keep us going.
How did you land up being the postulant master?
So when I was ordained with my 2 other confreres, it was a request that was asked of us, who would like to take up this apostolate? And by providence, it fell to me. So I think throughout our life as Carmelites, different roles will be offered to us. And I think there's constructive dialogue as to what role works best for you. Are you suitable for this role? And for me, I felt there was no opposition. I did not feel I would be 100% inadequate. So I accepted it, and I'm learning on the job also, because I'm quite new.
Okay.
You said 3, I'm like 3?
Huh?
You said 3, I'm like 3?
I don't know, as you talk, then suddenly the question.
Yeah. No, because 3 of us in total, but there are 2 others. Oh, wait a minute.
There's another guy.
Math is not my strong point.
What's this like Harry Potter thingy?
Funny that you should call it that, because it is really the cupboard under the stairs. So this is just our pantry. We keep all our food supplies here, dry goods and all that. Because at the end of the day, this is a big family, and so we need like a lot of soy sauce, a lot of chili, that sort of thing. So this is where we store the products.
So would you say it's the room of requirement?
Things magically appear here when we need it. Maybe this is where we keep naughty 4 months also.
What?
Naughty 4 months.
What's that?
Naughty seminarians.
Oh.
You punish them, live in there for 3 weeks.
But they got a lot of food, so can
Yeah,
just the oxygen.
They just drink a lot of soy sauce.
Not bad, then you want to set them free, just take out the dirty socks.
Yeah. Daddy is a free elf.
Don't miss. Okay.
Upon your lips, because God has blessed you forevermore. Almighty One, gird your sword upon your thigh. In splendor and state, ride on in